Hey guys, good morning to you. It's Fred coming at you live. If you've been to Hatfield McCoy Museum Adventures, Sheila and I did a video on this a few days ago. It's the shooting of the 17-year-old boy out in New Mexico. Sad tragedy, just cowardness at its worst. And I'll show you the video and then we'll either stop going through it or talk at the other side.
Check turned deadly, now raising questions.
This young man lost his life, and he didn't have to.
17-year-old Elijah Hadley seen here near Highway 70 back in June.
Stop right there, bro. Stop.
The Terrell County Sheriff's deputy asking for a show of hands. The teen tossing what appears to be a gun to the side, later found to be an airsoft pistol. Body cam video capturing the aftermath. The deputy firing 4 gunshots. Hadley falls to the ground.
Now guys, the deputy fires 4 gunshots. This is not one of the better videos, the live video, and it's on Hatfield McCoy Museum Adventures if you want to go to it. But if you look about 3.5, 4 foot from his hand, look at his hand, then look directly down towards the ground, you'll see that gun still in the air. It's falling. It's about a foot from the ground. He threw that gun down when the officer backed his car up and hollered at him. He took the gun out from underneath the coat there and he dropped it. It wasn't until 2 or 3 seconds later that boom, 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 the officer shoots. He had no gun in his hand. The gun was free from his hand, was falling to the ground. There it is, still yet falling. By now, he's done been shot 4 times, 3 to 4. And the kids are hollering, it's a BB gun, it's a BB. He's still alive. When he hits the ground, he's still hollering, telling the cop, it's a BB gun, it's a BB gun.
Injured.
42 bases, shots fired, shots fired.
It's a BB gun. And you know, they can't wait. This newer generation is just like shots fired, shots fired. It's like the most
Deputy unharmed calling for help.
Mason, send me help. I'm not hit. Subject down.
Moments later.
Don't go to that gun. 32 bases, shots fired, shots fired.
Now guys, when you look at this video live, if you'll look where that guy's laying and where that gun fell, the gun fell over into the weeds. This guy's still laying in the emergency lane of the highway, the shoulder of the road. He's nowhere near. That gun, from what I could tell, is over here in the weeds. The way that it fell, it went at like a 45-degree angle from his hand when he dropped it. He's hollering, don't go for that gun, don't go for that gun. Why? Why would a kid that's already scared to death hollering it's a BB gun? It's a BB gun. Why would he go for a BB gun to shoot an officer? He's already dropped the gun. Why would he go back and try to pick it up to shoot an officer with a BB gun? This guy is, once again, this is what I'm telling you about manipulating body cams, how police officers will do, and they'll say something even when something, I'm not talking about all police officers. I'm talking about the bad ones. I'm talking about the ones that learn how to manipulate and corrupt, and that's what they do. They corrupt other ones. But he's saying, don't you go for that gun. He's not going for that gun. He's wanting to make, in my opinion, dead men don't talk, or dead boys. Nobody's word but his. I don't know if he forgot the body camera was on, if he thought he turned it off. We'll never know, probably. But that 17-year-old boy laid there and died with, what was it, 19, 20 shots that were fired at him. Wow.
The deputy firing again, this time more than 15 shots fired. Growing frustration statewide.
Let's keep fighting!
On Saturday, dozens rallying for justice, demanding answers at the Terrell Sheriff County's office.
What is it?
We showed the body cam video to former Bernalillo County Sheriff Darren White. Were protocols followed in that video?
No, it's hard to watch, Faith. It's very hard to watch. And what is concerning to me watching this video, that young man is alive after the initial 3 rounds are fired because he's talking. He's talking to the deputy.
Now listen what this man says next. This alarms me.
Had he secured that weapon, got emergency services there while he's still alive, he may have survived. The officer should have secured that weapon.
Do you feel
Not
the
that part.
officer's
Coming up.
actions were justified in this video?
Yeah, the initial confrontation, the young man is clearly trying to discard the weapon.
Says, do you feel that it's justified? He says in the initial contact. There's your initial contact, guys. That's somewhere around that area. Is when the gun was never pointed whatsoever towards the officer, even though it's a BB gun. He doesn't know it's a BB gun. Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He doesn't know it's a BB gun or a Glock 40. But you don't have to know what caliber it is or anything else. Even at right there, that distance, it's 12, 14 inches away from his hand and falling in a downward motion. Now look how it's fallen. Look at the angle that it's falling. It's falling towards the grass. Now I'm sure they got better video footage than we do, and I could be wrong. But when he gets shot, this boy falls back here to the back. He falls backward into the emergency lane. And then this officer tries to holler, don't go for that gun, like he would go for a BB gun and him already shot.
Which is an aerosol. But the officer doesn't know that. It looks just like a handgun. But that second shooting should have never happened because the deputy should have immediately called for rescue, and he should have secured that weapon. And how long did it take in between the young man discarding the gun and the shots being fired? That is what the district attorney will have to determine whether the officer perceived that his life was in danger.
How could he perceive that his life is in danger when the gun...
President Trump
Hold on,
is
guys.
on the road
Sorry
traveling
about that. When the gun is thrown to the ground, how could he perceive a threat when the kid's hollering, it's a BB gun, it's a BB gun? How could he perceive a threat when he's laying back in the emergency lane on the shoulder of the road and the gun is probably 5 to 6 feet away from him? A threat? He's got the motor block of his car. He's got the car doors. He could tuck cover anywhere. You don't just shoot him down like he's a dog laying there, putting him out of his misery. And guys, you all wonder why I started releasing these videos. You know, a gentleman said this morning, what kind of vendetta? Vendetta? Guys, I don't have no vendetta. I worked 40 years as a police officer. But, and I had to fight and wrestle and complaints. That's part of it. But never, ever with a man handcuffed or seatbelted in the car or anything just for abuse. This is just totally uncalled for, what's going on today. And every time you turn the TV on, especially on YouTube, this is what you see. And if something isn't said about it, if something's not done about it, if some attention is not brought to it, it's going to continue. I don't do this to be mean or, goodness sakes, I love law enforcement. If we didn't have law enforcement, we'd be in a sad shape. But that's not law enforcement. That's hoodlums. That's criminals. He's as criminal as anybody I've ever arrested, probably. He's a murderer. He murdered, in my opinion, from what I saw from these videos, he murdered that little 17-year-old boy, a kid, because he's a coward and he wanted to holler out on that radio, shots fired. He even at one time had his mic keyed while he's still shooting, shots fired. He wanted to have that video for later on in life. In my opinion, what's my opinion worth? I don't know. I'm hoping other officers, other people sees this and sees these videos and says, hey, I don't want to end up on one of those videos. If he's handcuffed, I'm not going to touch the person. If if he drops the gun, I'm not going to shoot him. I've said it 1,000,000 times and probably hear it 1,000,000 more. Just because we're justified in shooting somebody doesn't mean we have to. If we've got less lethal means, if we've got some way to de-escalate, these are human beings. Once that life's gone, we ain't bringing it back. Thanks, guys. Please like, subscribe, and share if you would.